Good evening, sports fans from Panthers Stadium. High school girls soccer North Suburban Conference game between the Eagles of Totino-Grace and the Panthers of Spring Lake Park tonight on North Metro TV. Good evening once again. I'm JW Cox alongside Rosie, Erickson, and our entire North Metro TV crew. And a good one here today at home for the Panthers, as they've got a difficult opponent coming in the number 3 team in the state, the Totino-Grace Eagles, at 7-0-1 overall, 4-0 in conference. The Panthers just one victory on the year, 1-3-0 in North Suburban Conference plays. They beat Columbia Heights 3 games ago. So, Rosie, it's going to be a big test as you look at the standings there. Benilde St. Margaret on top and Totino-Grace both ranked in the top 3. And then the Spring Lake Park Panthers trying to fight their way up from the bottom. But when you talk to Coach Hollister Struck on that sideline before the game about his team, he's very excited about some of the talent that he has on this team this year. And having a young team, he's taking it game by game, like he said, and you know, he's looking for consistency with his team, just has yet to have that. For the starters against them, Stenheiser, Engelbrecht, Newman, Hinrichs, Pollute, and Miller, Hagen, Adam, and Eisfelder. It's actually Puyo. We'll go all the way back to that one, and I'll get it right this time. And the starters for the Panthers, Paulshin, Whitney, Vinsad, Johnson, Smith, Struck, Steppen, Allen, Schulz, Walraff, and Murphy as the starters in white for the Panthers. So the Panthers looking for their second win overall and their second conference win, sitting right there in 8th place. They went 6-4 in conference last year. Struggled out of the gates with their non-conference schedule last season, but did really well in conference with that winning record. And lost in an opening round sectional game to Mounds View, hoping to get back there. But as Rosie said, Coach Struck taking it game by game, looking to improve. And they'll try and keep that trend up here against Totino-Grace. We mentioned undefeated so far. They did tie Blaine 2 games ago. And a 1-1 tie at Blaine. Since then, a 1-0 victory against St. Louis Park and a 3-1 victory against Park Center. And that brings us up to date here against St. Louis Park. The number 3 team Eagles. We'll start with it moving left to right, and the Panthers in white trying to shut them down. Here's the second game played today at Panther Stadium. As the boys went first this time. It'll be popped out of bounds, and Totino-Grace will roll it forward. Goalkeeper on each side. It's Danielle Jericho in goal for the Panthers. And on the other side, Gabrielle Eisfelder, just a sophomore, in goal for Totino-Grace. Less than 30 seconds gone. The Panthers trying to find their way down the field for the first time to pick up some offense. As they have yet to be shut out this year. Scored at least a goal in all of their games, and they do have one shutout defensively, 14-0, when they got their only victory over Columbia Heights. And you talk with head coach Matt Thibodeau for the Totino-Grace Eagles, and he said in no uncertain terms, Rosie, their goal in this game be the first team to shut the Panthers out. And, you know, quite impressively, Eagles have only allowed 3 goals, as you said, you know, as you spoke to the coach. And that's going to be a tough thing to really break through that barrier for the Panthers. It's been Eisfelder all season in goal. We mentioned the sophomore, 61 saves on 64 shots against. And so we'll keep an eye there on what she can do in goal. So far, neither goalie tested here as the balls just trickle out on the far side. High school soccer on North Metro TV. You've got it here. JW Cox and Rosie Erickson from Panthers Stadium. And the Panthers trying to get their first victory at home, as that win against Columbia Heights came at Columbia Heights. So far, they've just had 2 home games. Lost 8-1 to Benilde St. Margaret here at home, and lost 4-2 to Roseville. Corner kick upcoming for the Eagles. Kayla Smith, the senior for the Panthers, the leading goal scorer into the game. 4 goals over just the first 3 games. As there, see Jericho, the senior goalkeeper, pluck it out of the air. Trying to reverse the field. See which one of these teams can bring a little intensity to this match earliest. Panthers able to steal the ball away, and we mentioned Coach Struck talking about the youth. He's also got some size and speed that he can use on this team that he's excited about, but looking for some consistency from his team here just 6 games into the season. Totino-Grace with the shot. They had Jericho well out of the box, or well away from the net at least, but she was able to make the save. Jericho on a bit of a cool night out here. You see, going with the pants. Fans in the stands on some of those cold bleachers a little more bundled up. Panthers fighting to keep it away from the net. The Eagles let them do it, and the Panthers will clear it out. They're going to go past midfield on that far side. Natalie polishing.
Panthers just a little overzealous there, switching fields too quick.
Eisfelder scoops it up. Five shutouts in the first 8 games so far for Totino-Grace. Players tripped up.
Called on struck there for the Panthers, as we see number 12.
And a high kick to just reset things on this near side. Last game, a loss against Roseville right here at home, as mentioned, for the Panthers, 4-2. And the last time out, 3-1. Totino-Grace not a shutout, but they did get the 2-goal victory over Park Center. Set themselves up undefeated. Exact same records for both Benilde St. Margaret and Totino-Grace, the number 1 and number 3 teams respectively in the state, as you saw in that graphic early on. Throw-in goes a little errant, and we're going to come back the other way, as Anna Heinrichs, senior midfielder, couldn't get it in there. Coming up on 5 minutes gone in this match. Not a lot of action either way. Eagles with a couple of shots towards the front of the goal. Nothing too aggressive. Defensively, obviously just the 3 goals allowed in 8 games. There's a pass towards the front and scooped up before any more damage can be done by Jericho.
Steinhauser taking the shot there, looking for a goal, just not aggressive enough.
Just over 3 goals a game scored by the Eagles so far this year. And their high also came against Columbia Heights, 10-0. Not a real big push for the Eagles so far, as that one was loose, and they had Steinhauser.
Very typical in soccer, the first few minutes, really feeling each other out. Back and forth play so far.
Six minutes into this one. Talk about the youth and speed of Spring Lake Park, but they do have some seniors sprinkled in there. Steppen, Allen, 2 of the big defenders are both seniors to bring some leadership to this team. Let's see just how deep they go. They've got Schultz in the starting lineup, who's just an 8th grader. Go down to a sophomore and Maddie Walrath. Jenna Murphy, also an 8th grader. And Bensad Johnson, just a freshman on the attack. Get one change here early on. It's Caitlin Monson, a sophomore. It's ready to check in for the Panthers. Have it down towards the offensive zone, and will trickle out of bounds, and the Panthers will get a first chance to kind of set things up on offense. Monson's going to come in. Polishin's going to throw it in on that far side. Walrath, who came out on that change. Ball in front of the goal. First shot really towards the goal is picked up on one bounce by Eisfelder. They're going to have to do a lot of work to get it past Eisfelder, you'd think.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive that they've had that many shutouts thus far in their season. How many was that again? You said
64 shots on goal and she has saved 61 of them.
Wow. 3 goals for the season. That is
and
impressive.
It's all her. She hasn't even
Absolutely.
stepped out of some games that were blowouts. She's taking the task.
They have quite the goalkeepers from that
in
school.
Totino-Grace. It's
Absolutely.
a pipeline. And those are referring to our goalkeeper from the boys' side, who has also stopped things up very well. And the game just prior to this here. Now with the sun going down, the line's taking full effect here at Panthers Stadium.
They have quite the stadium here too. It's really awesome. You know, nice out here with the lights shining down on them.
Sets things up well both for soccer and football, of course. Brandon Hilliard, the goalkeeper for Totino-Grace on the men's side. And there's a save. Talk about the Totino-Grace goalkeepers. And there's Jericho, the goalkeeper for the Panthers. Able to scoop it up, stop the attack, and clear it out. So a couple of shots as we're getting deeper into this game. 9 minutes in. A couple of shots as the game gets extended towards both goals. Started out, a lot of passing, as Rosie mentioned, just feeling each other out in the middle of the field. Totino-Grace last year won the 3rd place game in the state tournament. So they're no strangers to getting off to the hot start in the season and being ranked, as there's a shot towards the front of the goal. And it's going to pop out behind the goal. Section 5 champions. They were ranked number 5 by the end of the year last year. This is all the Totino-Grace Eagles.
And number 3 in Class A, correct? It's
number 3 coming in here, yeah.
It's pretty impressive.
We talked about the 3 shutouts last year. Excuse me, the 3 shutouts this year. Last year they won 15 games and 13 of those were shutouts.
Wow, something to talk about for sure. I'm sure that their coach is very impressed. And looking to a shutout today, I'm sure that's something he looks for in the team.
Yeah, that's what he said. I mean, they like to give very specific goals to his team, something that they can definitely each game tangibly reach out and say, okay, did we meet this goal? Not just kind of a, okay, we're looking to improve, which is obviously a good goal to have in and of itself, especially if you're a team like the Panthers who are looking to find things back towards the winning season they had in conference last year and with some work to do. But when you're a good team, like Totino-Grace definitely is, sometimes you have to add a little bit more into a game to make sure you're improving each day and challenging yourself. That's what the Eagles are trying to do by looking for the shutout. So far, neither team with much of a push towards goal. Thrown in by Gleckler. Pop right back out. She'll have to do it again. Towards the middle of the field. Julio trying to attack, but the Panthers are going to come away with it. No score in the 11th minute. Still very early in this first half on North Metro. Toward the front of the goal, but a Panther there in pursuit, and then the goalkeeper.
Starting to see Jericho come out quite often for those.
That's actually Iskierka in goal.
Oh, is it?
It is. The freshman, Jericho, had been given to us by the coaching staff, but Iskierka, number 0 there, the 9th grader, wearing that long-sleeved green goalie jersey.
Good thing we were informed before the end of the game.
As long as she turned around at least once on camera, one of us was sure to pick it up. Shot towards the front of the goal on the other side, and that's stopped by Eisfelder. And that's definitely her. We can see that faded number 1. We've got confirmation on all the goalies now as we're 12 minutes in. Check out that shot on goal coming from Paulshin.
That was a pretty good shot coming from Paulshin. Quite a distance out, and just a great save.
Took a hop in towards the feet of the goalkeeper, Eisfelder, made it a little more difficult, but she stayed with it. So the Panthers, you can see, getting some shots early, even though they've lost the 5 games that they have. As we've mentioned a couple of times now, they've yet to be shut out, and they've definitely found a way to get some shots already in this one. Haven't found the back of the net. And they'll try and get it out of the zone for Totino-Grace and see what they can do to attack. Picked up by Hagen on this near side. Now up on the right by Miller. Now we'll just trickle back, and Iskierka Artist formerly known as Jericho in goal there. We'll kick it out. Pressure from the Eagles, making it tough for the Panthers to pick it up in the offensive zone, but the Panthers do get it back on that right side. Chance maybe for a shot, 1-on-2. Goal going in and picked up by Eisfelder. So 3 shots already saved by Eisfelder in this game. She's going to head up towards 70 attempt stop by the time this one goes, as you get a second look. Again, it's Bouchard.
Once again, taking that long shot, but saved, you know.
They've been very good looks, and I'm sure the Panthers are
Right.
pleased with the looks they're getting. Now they'll get the kick from midfield. Kayla Smith, the senior, to take it. Long towards the middle. Panthers can't control. Had for a moment. Tried to get it back, but the Eagles sneak it away. Engelbrecht there on the defense. And now the Panthers will pick it up on the other end. Clear it out, couldn't do it. Eagles with the chance at the offense given to them there, 2-on-3, and it's finally poked away by the Panthers. '15th minute of this one. The Panthers so far have been the aggressors, gotten the few shots that we've had in this game so far against the number 3 team in the state. And we'll have some substitutions coming on in. Maddie Walrath is going to come back into the game. As you look at those rankings, it has Totino-Grace there at number 3, Benilde St. Margaret at number 1. Some of those other teams, Holy Family Catholic, had some success on the state stage in various sports throughout the last few seasons, but the North Suburban Conference very well represented in those rankings with those top 2 teams. Number 3 team and the number 1 team, rather. Eagles trying to find the shot, can't do it. Cleared out by the Panthers, and the Eagles will reset with the toss in from the far side. Into the 16th minute, the Panthers steal it away. Run back the other way with it. Kayla Smith back to the middle, poked away by an Eagle. They'll look to control. But again, the Panthers obviously facing the team with the better record and the number 3 team, as we saw, but they've been the aggressors and they've had some good shots and looked pretty good so far in this half.
Yeah, you know, they've had some smart passing, but also not the best, but they've been able to regain possession, which is obviously key for them. They've been able to get a few shots off of that.
Pop towards the middle. Fight for it right back there. Kayla Smith in the fight. Over to this near side. Trying to find Walrath. Poked out. There's an Eagle right there, and they're looking to move up the field. Good job, as Rosie just mentioned, by the Panthers of keeping it right back in, but they'll lose possession here across the midfield line. Try and take it right back. Jenna Murphy, the 8th grade defender, will poke it out, force the Eagles to reset as a couple of Eagles come into the game. Walker and Goeding come on in. 17th minute of this one. As the Panthers, I mentioned coming in, the loss to Roseville, they'll go to Chisago Lakes after this one, then out of conference to Centennial, Champlain Park as well, and another out of conference game. And you saw that then they'll get back into the conference swing of things, playing Fridley coming up on the 25th. Still scoreless here in this one. Panthers looking to run out. Walrath had it for a moment, back to the middle, and the Panthers control. Coming back on the near side. Walrath out in front of everybody. On the left, couldn't get the pass from Bouchard Jansen. Now to fight for it. Bouchard Jansen had a chance to get it back. Back to midfield and poked out by the Eagles. So a little pushing and shoving there is Puyo playing tough against Hannah Schultz. The middle of the field. Some frustration from the Eagles already, as they're not exactly imposing their will on the Panthers in any way, shape, or form. And not a lot of offensive chances for the girls in dark blue. Here they'll get the throw in. from Hendricks. Abigail Imke comes in. And for the Eagles, undefeated with just that one tie against Blaine, as you see there. They go to Fridley for a conference game in 2 days, and they go out of conference to play a tough Monticello team, which is the number 9 ranked team at the 1A level. So definitely challenging themselves. They played Holy Angels, the number 7 ranked team preseason. Beat them 2-1. And then, of course, they'll take on Benilde St. Margaret in conference. That Monticello game, though, against number 9. And they do get them at home. I might have said to Monticello. They do get them at home 2 games from now. Nineteenth minute of this one. Still scoreless. It's the Panthers. They'd want to keep this a lower scoring game. Panthers into this one averaging just 3.5 goals a game, but allowing over 4. So the lower the better. You got that kind of differential. So far they've almost wasted away the first 20 minutes of this one. And I think that'd be a win for the Panthers at this point, but obviously they got to find some way to capitalize on the shots they've got. Far side, Vincent Jansen. Told you Michaela Smith, the senior, leading scorer with 5 points, 4 of those goals. 4 points for Natalie Paulshin, also a senior, 3 of those goals. Vincent Johnson, Caitlin Monson, the top assist makers on this squad. Ball was loose in front of the goal, but the Eagles beat the Panthers to it, as I think that was Paulshin there trying to get there. Panthers have a chance in their offensive zone. Tossed in, off the head of Paulshin. Eagles try and bump it out. Ball staying high. Finally they do get it out. Panthers sneak it back into the middle of the field. Official almost acting as a defender there, but the Panthers fight through it. Smith lost it off to her left. Walref there to try and track it down. And it's poked out. Panthers never did fully lose possession of that across the midfield stripe. So they can keep being the aggressor here in the 21st minute. 19:14 to go in this first half.
Panthers were starting to see their speed, which is definitely a benefit in soccer to have. You know, being one of their strengths, I'm sure it will help them in today's game.
Pressure! Out, out!
Long shot towards the left of the goal, and Eisfelder will just let that one roll to her left. Get up. She'll let Walker
Come to it!
boom it out of there. See Eisfelder 3 for 3 today. We already talked about that great percentage that she has into the game. Just 3 goals allowed, 64 shots. Panthers poke it away at midfield, being very stingy with possession. Looking to advance it on the right side, and it'll just roll out. Walker again. Designated to boom it away, as you see there. Walker, the senior defenseman. A little bit of bumping there. Trading the paint to find the way to that loose ball. The Panthers come away and again are going to push it on their side of the midfield stripe and throw it in quickly and keep up with the pressure.
Their speed is helping them regain the possession. You know, even if they lose the ball, they're seeming to catch up to it.
So maybe not a lot of shot makers, but they can put themselves in the positions with that speed. They can definitely keep the ball away from the Eagles, as we've seen there. Great move by Walref to get to that one and screen off her defender. But it's going to come back the other way.
A little too much shoulder
Too
there.
aggressive
Right.
with that screen off. That's what made it look so good.
Mm-hmm.
And now Totino-Grace lose it out of bounds, and you see here coaching staff for Totino. Let's keep the ball. Good reverse by the Eagles to do that, to get it towards the front of the goal, but it's picked up easily by Esquerca. Clear it out towards midfield. It's poked back by the Panthers to try and reset slowly. And up they go to Walrath. She can't get the foot on it, but the loose ball in midfield is picked up by the Panthers. Now they're moving well. 5-on-5, the long shot. Too wide off to the left, and Eisfelder easily out of goal, trotting to pick that one up.
Smith trying to take that long shot. As we see on this replay, Merlina working it down the middle, decides to take that shot as the defenders collapse on her. But either way, it would have been wide.
Had some numbers to work with there in the offensive zone, but those two defenders collapsing on Smith, so decided her best chance at a shot was right there. Now Steppen set it up for her offense. Up they go to Walrath. Had a step, but it got past her a little too quickly. She'll recover in the corner. Back she goes to this near side for Bensad Jansen. To the middle, nobody home. Panthers maybe with a chance wasted there, as they had that lead pass a little bit too strong to Walrath.
Mm-hmm.
But they still have it. That's been the key. They've missed some opportunities. They've been very stingy with possession and kept it away from the Eagles for the most part. Heinrichs overruns the ball just a bit there. To this near side, has it poked away. Walrath's going to come up the left side alone. Trying to find somebody up the field. Now two Panthers collapse as it's Walrath there with Purzel. Check that, make that Bensad Johnson. 2 ones on that jersey, not just one. And now Bensad Johnson alone in the middle. Has a teammate coming up the right side. Shot goes off the foot of an Eagle, and it's going to roll out. And they're going to kick it out.
It's going to be a corner kick. It looks like Smith is over there on the far side.
Kristen Whitney's going to check in. Senior attacker, as it is Smith in that corner. You see there her season totals with 5 points for those goals. Corner kick to the middle. First touch by an Eagle. Don't clear it out all the way, so they're in the corner. And the Panthers pick it back up. Shot again is spinning out. And never made it towards the front of the goal.
Wait, there's another ball there. Mark, make sure you're on someone.
Another corner kick from that same side. Shot to the middle of the goal, off of a couple of players to the front. Eisfelder kept her eyes on it, went down to her right to knock it down for yet another save to keep us scoreless here at the 13:35 mark.
As you see on the replay, it was really bounced around between players. One of the Panthers coming in with a great strike, one hit shot there, but I didn't quite catch who that was, but it was a great shot by the Panther.
Anytime you can get that screen of players in either jersey in front of you, can make it tough for the goalkeeper. Eisfelder just scoops it up this time before things get a little dicey. And we're scoreless here. 13 minutes to go in the first. And we haven't been looking to our right as Totino-Grace attacking that goal to our right. We haven't been looking over there too much, Rosie, in this half, as the Panthers have done a great job of maintaining possession. Look to do it again. Clear it all the way down. They won't get it towards the goal this time, as it's Eagles surrounding it as Eisfelder picks it up. Eisfelder there with just another save on her season. Very good numbers. On her side, Allen with it. Up to midfield for Smith. And now the Eagles looking to move the ball with a couple of initial passes that are good. Up the middle one-on-one, and it's poked away. Can't get past that last line of defense for the Panthers to try and set up something offensively. And now here come the Panthers. Up they go to the middle to set it up with Waldron. To the right, she threw it behind her teammate. Kicked it, rather, behind her teammate. And back they go to the corner, and that one looks like it'll trickle out, and it will.
Panthers head coach, Coach Struck, said that he has yet to figure out how to utilize their strengths, but I'm starting to see, you know, as we spoke about, their speed, but also, you know, they've been doing so well this game so far, keeping the possession, you know, where they want it to be and everything. So I'm sure with their speed and all that, offense is going to be a strong suit for them this year.
He's got the keys to the car that can do a whole lot. He's just looking to find the best way to use all of that. And so early on, they've struggled just a bit. They've scored their goals, but just with the one win, this will be a big, big get for them if they can find a way to win. Walraff is off to the left on her own. One-on-one now and has it poked away. Good defensive play on that side by Walker. Panthers will toss it in as they get Taylor Turnquist coming in for the Panthers. Long way to go as the ball person was not on the spot for that one. Time just ticking off, under 10:30 to go. A good hustle there for Struck Jansen.
Pressure. Good, Riley. Find feet. Right away, right away.
A lot of traffic in the middle of the field. Panthers pick it up in Walraff. Tries to go off the left and has to push it away as Walker came up with the good pressure.
10 minutes left in the first half. I'm surprised that we have yet to see a goal.
Not a whole lot of shots for Totino-Grace at all. As again, the Panthers.
The Panthers coming out their last game, or their only winning game, is 14 points. You know, that's
Struck all alone. Kick towards the front of the goal off the back. One of her teammates, Walraff, picks up the loose ball and then goes off an eagle, so we'll do it again from right there. And another chance as Struck will toss it in. Here on this near side for the Panthers. Trying to get it towards the front of the goal, maybe a little bit too deep. Picked up by an eagle. Another kick by the Panthers to get it right towards the front. Fight for it on the far side as Monson's there. And it's cleared out by the Eagles eventually, at least to midfield. Really lost it. The Panthers over to get it again. And the Eagles will take their time. 9 minutes to go in this first half. Still scoreless here on North Metro TV. J.W. Cox, Rosie Erickson. Along that far side, the Eagles will get possession again for one of the few times. Trying to work the offense in front of that net. Gusinger to throw it in, the senior.
once again beat by a Panther. That speed.
Even on the tosses from the side. There again, 4 Panthers end up around the ball to make it difficult for the Eagles to move it upfield. It's poked out again, and this time it'll come back for the Panthers, then go back on the attack. 8:12 to go. Coach tried backing out, and the Eagles will come back with it. Coach Thibodeau, sitting down there on the end of the bench, has to be thinking about maybe some adjustments that he can make at halftime. It's still a long way to get there. So see if his team can adjust themselves on the field before then, and maybe find some ways to exploit the Panthers in the second half. Panthers, though, just maintaining possession. Walraff running up the left as they attack, but it's stolen away.
Stay with it.
For a moment, Panthers maintain. Try to get it back to Struck on the left.
Right away, right away.
And it's stolen away. Back to midfield. Panthers put it back into the zone, and it's popped out of bounds. Well, Walraff will be right there on the edge. Bright orange cleats and all to take this toss in from Struck. Throws it a little bit deep. Only Eagles home there, and they surround it. Pop it up. Can't quite clear it. And now they finally do towards the bench, but right there to pick it up, Steppen. Playing up from her defender spot. And that's going to be a bump on Walraff. As an Eagle hits the deck, but pops right up. That's Amanda Engelbrecht who took the blow. And so, sophomore, up and ready to go. You saw there with 4 points on the season. A couple of goals, a couple of assists. And they caught Walraff in traffic there, no intent. They just kind of ran into each other. So the long free kick. And what do you know, there are the Panthers all around that loose ball. Pick it up against the Eagles. 6:20 and counting in this first half. All quiet on the left-hand scoreboard.
Seems the Panthers' idea of defense over here, they keep kicking it out to the far side every time they get the opportunity, but it's been helping them.
They've been able to maintain possession for the most part that way. Now Allen will throw it in for the Panthers. Panthers tried to catch the Eagles off guard, but we're outnumbered on that side of the field. Couldn't get everybody else into position. It's poked out again, and the Eagles will try and attack here with the final 3.5 minutes. Not towards the front of the goal, but the pass sneaks behind Nicole Newman.
Nobody there.
So far, Totino-Grace meeting their goal of shutting out the Panthers, but I don't think along that. As you'll see, Paulson come back in. She's had a couple of shots in this game already. 4 points, 3 goals on the season. As Caitlin Munson will sit down. Along with shutting out the Panthers, I don't think Totino-Grace was expected to be shut out themselves this long in this game. That's where we find ourselves under 5 minutes to play in the first. Ball sweeps right past of a Panther. They'll get to toss it in from the near side. Olson's all alone. Had it poked away. Panthers inch ever closer up the field. 4:30 and counting. Arms to the middle. Good defense there by Struck to try and keep it in the offensive zone. Pass intended for Walraff goes a little deep. Eagles fling it in quickly. And I think we're going to get a hand, I believe, on the Panthers. Yes, that's where he's holding that. So on the Panthers on this near side. It looks like Puyo. Grace Puyo, one of the players that Coach Thibodeau talked about from a defensive standpoint, has been very impressive so far in this her senior season. She takes the free kick from deep. Eagles trying to make something of it, but they won't, at least directly off the kick, as the Panthers clear it out again. Again up for Walraff. In the middle over to Paulson. Another Panther to her right. Paulson takes the long shot, 2 bounces into Eisfelder for another save. 3:33 and counting in this first half.
Paulson seems to like to take those long shots.
And there's a Panther down at midfield. Thus the delay. Just been caught on the shin, and she does not look to be enjoying that situation at all. The team's going to get over onto the sideline. He's caught a foot to that shin. Hopefully that's the extent of it. Maybe a bruise there. As both teams will head to the sideline. And Rosie, I mean, we both talked about how this game, we weren't really expecting it to be a shutout this long, but the more and more we go here, the more and more it seems likely that we are going to go to halftime without a goal scored. And a lot of it is that offensive pressure of the Panthers. They're just beating the team in blue to the punch.
You know, honestly, I think the Panthers are doing really well right now with their pressure and really getting shots on net, creating opportunity. If you were Eagles coach, what would you say?
Well, for the Eagles, they've got to find a way to make a few more crisp passes. We've seen that maybe once, twice, right on their side of midfield. They've made a couple of good entry passes, but the Panthers have been there with that speed that you've mentioned. So Coach Thibodeau there has to be sitting back thinking about some of the ways that they can stop that speed. Maybe a long pass or two.
Right, possibly like quick one-touch passing. Right. You know, switching fields, I think that would help, especially since the Panthers have that speed above them. And they also have some big players, you know, that come with speed as well, as we see.
That makes it tough, Waldron down there, but also on defense a lot. As they're still bouncing around with a player down. Remember, you can order all of these games, NorthMetroTV.com. You can watch the games there on demand. Also order a copy for yourself. Catch us on Channel 15. Schedule's also available for all of the games we cover on NorthMetroTV.com. Give us a call, 763-231-2801. Here we're scoreless. Panther Stadium, we've got a Panther down at midfield holding a left shin. And so thus the stoppage in play. And now we first see the number, and it's Michaela Smith, the senior midfielder. It's either a shin or, I guess, an ankle. She's favoring it quite a bit, as you can see there, and they're going to actually... Coach Struck's just going to carry her off, so she does not... Can't tell if that's kind of a crying smile or now she's smiling a little bit more.
Just the fact that he decided just to pick her up, make it a little easier.
So Michaela Smith, the senior, is going to head to the bench. Clearly in some pain. So she'll sit down for this one. And we'll keep an eye on her on that far side of the bench.
And she is one of their captains.
So that's a tough loss to take. We'll see how the team can go with the loss of that senior leadership in the middle. As we take again a gander at the 2A rankings. In soccer, as you see some Centennial up there at number 7, a team that we'll cover as well. Lost to Andover, who jumped up to number 4, that game on Tuesday of last week. So Andover made the jump, beating a higher ranked Centennial, Maple Grove, of course. Over in the Northwest Suburban Conference. Some other games that we might cover here on North Metro. So very good soccer on the girls' side as well as the boys' side as well that we get to cover here. And we're back at it with 3:27 to go after the break for the injury to Michaela Smith. And working on that left leg on the bench. Her Panthers still working on maintaining possession. And on one side, Coach Thibodeau and the Eagles will be a little bit disappointed that they didn't get more offensive pressure and a goal out of this first half. But on the opposite side for the Panthers, they'll be feeling pretty good about the way things went, leaving the Eagles scratching their heads. Along the left, the Eagles go. And it trickles out, and they'll stay with possession. Under 3 to play in the first. It's a one-win Panthers team against the number 3 ranked team in the state.
Right, you know, totally opposite, really, you know, rankings and everything. And so it's a surprise that it's been this, you know, back and forth this far in the game.
If you look at it just on paper, certainly would expect this one to go completely the other way. But I think talking with Coach Struck before the game, he knew that he had the athletes to compete with just about anybody. They have to, in his words, connect the dots a little bit early on in the season to put everything together. But they've got the athletes that can compete, and we've seen that here. And I'm not ready to call them the superior athletes, I guess, but they do have more speed in this game than we've seen from Totino-Grace and the Eagles, at least to this point. And that's helped them out here with just 2 minutes to go in the first half.
Yeah, I mean, just seeing the teams play today, it looks like the Panthers have a bit of an advantage this far. I mean, no goals yet, but they've been doing really well on offense.
They'd love to get one of those goals here to turn it from possibly a moral victory into an actual victory on the scoreboard. And they're setting themselves up well for that again. Taking the ball away, under 2 minutes to go. Foot race to it out there. That time, Olson just not going to get there. And the Eagles will take possession, see what they can do with the final minute and a half. It's really key at this point for the Panthers to hang tough. They'd hate to go all this way, 39 minutes through, and give up a goal in the last 2 minutes. Just don't see that happening, as the Eagles have had no push towards their own net. Panthers again take it. And that far side, now a long shot, well left of the goal. Plucked up by Eisfelder. She'll boot it away, under a minute to play here in the first. Olson a little bit too long, too wide on that pass off to her right. A bit of a delay there, 40 seconds left. And the Panthers pop it out of bounds.
Putting that ball girl to work over there.
Absolutely.
Chasing it.
Back to back, she was up to the task. Panthers again, able to poke it away for a moment. Come up with a free ball. Walraff fighting over there with Newman. Newman comes away with it. The Eagles will keep it. 15 seconds left. Got to hurry. Don't want to get any kind of shot off here. And Schultz with 10 will toss it in. Deep towards her net, off the foot of a Panther. No shot as it's maintained by Engelbrecht. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second, and she won't get a shot off. And we will, Rosie, go scoreless into halftime as both of these teams back and forth, but Spring Lake Park controlling the flow of this game completely there in the first. And it's the number 3 Totino-Grace Eagles that will have to make some adjustments at halftime as the Panthers and Eagles scoreless headed to the second half here from Spring Lake Park on North Metro TV.
Known for its vineyards and hilltop villages, Umbria is also known for its delicious tasting pizza. Made traditionally from the finest ingredients, Umbria Pizzeria will make you taste the difference, smell the love, and transport you to Italy.
La cena è pronta.
Dinner's ready.
You might even begin to feel like an Italian.
Delicioso.
Umbria Pizzeria, turning taste into memories.
If you need seamless gutters, whether the job is large or small, you can say,
I know a guy!
for your full service landscaping, you can say,
I know a guy!
if you need commercial or residential lawn care, you can say,
I know a guy! I'm Charlie Walker, and if you need professional seamless gutters, landscaping, and lawn care, you can say, I know a guy!
With gold at an all-time high, take that rope and say bye-bye. Earrings, bracelets, rings, and chains. We buy gold at your exchange. Don't send your gold to someone strange. We buy gold at your exchange. Spring Lake Park, Frilly, Blaine. We buy gold at your exchange.
Join Ben Hale every Friday on North Metro TV News.
Check it out. Oh, that is magnificent.
Here comes the big one, Elizabeth.
I love it so much. I'm feeling a little guilty on account of me being married. There are 8 wonders in the world.
I can't believe it.
Pinch me. I think I'm dreaming.
Okay.
No, it's real.
Back with you in Spring Lake Park, Panthers Stadium. J.W. Cox alongside Rosie Erickson on North Metro TV. Scoreless first half between the Eagles and the Panthers. And it was the Panthers who were the aggressors throughout most of that first half. The Eagles still the number 3 team in the state. But here you look at that aggression from the Panthers and the stops from their goalkeeper, Gabrielle Eisfelder. First shot, a lot of Paulschen, a lot of Eisfelder in these highlights. As Natalie Paulschen, the attacker, took 4 shots, and they were all stopped by Eisfelder. 1 shot mixed in there by Caitlin Monson that you'll see here as Monson gets the right foot on it, but the diving attempt to the right for Eisfelder. And then Paulschen again. That one just rolled in there as Paulschen likes to take the very, very long shots. And Eisfelder's up to the task. Is another long one that she went up to the top and just wide for. So Gabrielle Eisfelder, who came in with a 95% save percentage, 61 of 64. You see there, 100% today, 5 of 5. I guess in baseball you call that 1,000% today. And she has helped her team to that 7-0-1 record. And you see under a half a goal per game. So not even just half a goal per game, under a half a goal per game with that 95% save capability and 5 shutouts in 8 games already for Totino-Grace, and she's the reason they're still in it. Or Spring Lake Park, who would be the underdog in this matchup, Rosie, would be ahead in this game by 1, if not more.
Exactly, and we've really seen the Panthers create a lot of opportunity on shooting on goal, you know, and she's had a lot of great saves. But if the Eagles don't pick it up, you know, those opportunities are going to be able to, they're going to be able to finish those. So I think the second half, Eagles may have to pick up their defense, get it on the opposite side of the field. We'll see. We'll see who comes out strong.
Fewer chances there for the goalkeeper. Iskirka for the Panthers, 2 of 2 on the saves. And as Rosie mentioned, the Eagles going to have to pick up the pressure. Now we move left to right for the Panthers in white to start this second half. Panthers looking for just their second win on the season, to be their second in conference. And so far, undefeated in conference and undefeated with just a tie on the season are the number 3 Eagles. Panthers again with a lot of pressure, keeping the ball right there. Walriff up the middle. Fights her way to the front of the net. And there, Eisfelder letting her front 4 go to work. And they've yet to be able to clear it as the Panthers are still on it. Walriff off of her head, still has it in front of the goal, and finally it's poked away by the Eagles. And they'll look to clear it out. Top 3 attackers for the Panthers in there. Inside Jansen along with Maddie Walriff. Good pressure in the face of the net, and it's yet to go back across the midfield stripe. There's Struck. She'll push it to the right side for Kristen Whitney. Centering pass to the middle, but only Eagles home there. Pass off the shot off the deflection, rather, wide to the left. And the first minute and 15 seconds, Rosie, has gone just like the first 40 minutes of this game. It's been all Panthers. They've just switched sides.
And like I said, they're really creating that opportunity. You know, I think we may see some success here if they keep at it.
And we mentioned the great goalkeeping we saw on the boys' side from Totino-Grace. And eventually even they cracked with enough chances and enough shots. It was a free penalty kick that Brandon Hilliard finally gave up. We might see that from Eichfelder, but it'll just be the 4th time that she'd been scored on the next time she gives up a goal. And I think a handball coming back the other way. And you can go back to that montage that we showed of Eichfeld. A lot of long shots that she stopped in this game. She had one that she had to dive to her right for, but a couple of shots that she's picked up on the second bounce or so. And there the Panthers just forming a wall with a little bit of space there, and they avoid any damage from the free kick and move it right back into their offensive zone, and they're out ahead. They've got 2-on-2 coming up the right side. It'll be a far pass to that left side for Walriff. They do go to the front. Panthers unable to keep possession as it trickles back out, and Whitney will reset. Struck had it for a moment, but it's popped away. And the Eagles will look to move up the field. Off to the left, Miller has it. Up the sideline she goes, looking for Steinhauser. And she'll lose it out on the left side. 3rd minute of the second half, make it the 4th minute of the second half. Here on North Metro TV. No score. Steinhauser fighting for it, and the possession is going to go to the Panthers. Coming back the other way. Cool night here in Spring Lake Park. Panthers again, keeping all the action on their side of the field. There's Whitney on the right. Centering pass, looking for Walriff on the left, perhaps. Couldn't get it out of the middle. That was Paulshin. Now back to Whitney on this right side. And a good defensive stop to be right in the way of things for Gabrielle Glecker on defense. A touch under 60 degrees out there, 57 and clear. Natalie Paulshin, we saw with those 4 shots on goal. All been coming pretty deep, and here she's going to put that to work with a corner kick. Up towards the front of the net. First attempt, no good, and it's cleared out by the Eagles, as the Panthers were really just able to get about half a foot on it on that far side. Now the Eagles streaking out past midfield. Numbers 2-on-2, 1 to the left. And it's forced out of bounds. Hannah Schultz with good defense over there. And the Panthers again looking to control. Right there to pick it up though. Puyo. Defender trying to change the field. Puyo able to hook it out of bounds around that Panther in pursuit there, Brittany Steppen. We'll go back to toss it in. Steppen actually with the kick along that far side. That open ball bouncing around Walraff. Could never find any handle on it. And the Eagles come back the other way. Header bumps up, and Iskirka will swoop in there. Pick it up and kick it away towards her own bench. A little bit deep. Trying to get it on this near side for Whitney. Instead, the Eagles trying to turn the tables here and keep the possession on their offensive zone, as the Panthers did the entire first half, and so far 6 minutes here into the second, and they will get a chance for the toss deep in their zone. Toss it back to try and set it up with Miller. Back to the middle. And possession's going to come back for Spring Lake Park. A little offside there on that pass. Steinhauser too eager in front of it. Again, the Panthers win at midfield. Moving left to right. Pass coming to the middle as Whitney went to the deck. No whistle, some incidental contact there. The Panthers get it back along the left side. 2-on-1. And again, shot just trickles off, and Eisfelder able to scoop it up. The Eagles definitely leaving some help for Eisfelder back there, as they've always got a defender right at the top of the box. As the first level, as Eisfelder stays deep towards the net. Panthers yet to get a shot past that first level. .32 minutes to go in this one, still scoreless.
Second half, we're seeing a little more even play, but I'm surprised. You know, I didn't expect it to be this even, and Panthers really picking it up this game.
There's a good shot from deep, and it's saved again, save number 6, as that was Layla Binsad Johnson, I believe, who got the shot off. Right towards the middle of the net.
Long shot once again. The Panthers seem to like that. Just take every opportunity.
Not a lot of great chances near the net, despite all the time that they've spent on offense on this side of the field. Allen to toss it in into some traffic right in front of the Totino-Grace bench. Struck with it out of the air. Get it back to Whitney. Whitney with the long pass to the far side. Battle for that loose ball won by Totino-Grace, and they'll move up the field. Back to midfield where Spring Lake Park tries to control. Punched all the way back to the Eagles. Ball rolling loose. A 5-4 down towards the corner.
It's going to be a goal kick.
Works out for the Panthers that way. Elena Dorman will check into the game. And remember, we saw Michaela Smith go down with the injury in the first half. I believe that's still her down on this left side of the bench. Sweater on, I think, and she might be done. Shot going towards the goal. Iskierka picks it up. And we're about to go across the 50-minute mark scoreless. Elementary math eluded me there as there's another look at that shot. Grace Puyo taking another deep shot, so both of the teams forced to try and do that. The only looks they could get. And the Panthers fortunate on the hop there to maintain possession. Walraff running free on the left. They want to keep it in the middle, and it's poked away. Well on that near side by Nicole Hagen. Ball poked back and a quick kick out for Eisfelder. And the Eagles, at least here, will reverse the field. He's tried to. A couple of Panthers collide, but they come away with possession. There's Struck all over the place at midfield. And there she pursues the ball down towards the goal, forces the long pass. Walraff almost picked it up. And now eventually the Panthers will maintain with Whitney now on that far side of Walraff. Pokes it ahead. Eagles have to track that down, and they will let Eisfelder pick it up. And she'll boot it out of there. Struck right back in position at the middle of the field. A little bit of a misplay for the Eagles gives the Panthers a chance to take possession right back. They don't get it. Some fancy footwork in the middle and a good strong push by Jenna Murphy to come up and get that one. This near side, it's headed out of bounds as Dorman tried to get to that. Panthers will maintain. Caitlin Munson comes into the game. As Struck will toss it in. Toss goes towards the front of the goal. Those extra defenders for the Eagles there to help guide it out of bounds. And we'll have the kick from the corner executed by Bensad Johnson, the freshman attacker. Her teammates playing deep, looking to creep up towards the front of the goal. The shot goes there. A lot of traffic. They had Eisfelder out of position but couldn't get a shot. Now the ball back towards the front of the goal. And again, no shot for the Panthers. Look to get possession back.
That was a good corner kick, though. Right at the near post is where they needed it.
Jenna Murphy involved in that skirmish there. And it'll be a free kick this time. Taken by Whitney. Set up the three-person wall for the Eagles. It's up over the top and tailing away from the goal as it goes into the arms of Eisfelder. Another save for her. And she'll boot it away.
Whitney taking that free kick there just over the top. It was going to be a little wide, but it looked like the Panthers did have someone there to answer. Luckily, the Eagles did have a great save there.
26:40 to go. The Panthers come right back with possession. Kylie McSherry checks in blue. Junior defender. On the throw-in goes too deep. The Panthers try and track it down. And they'll just punch it out of bounds at their own bench. That's where the Eagles will try and start with it. Scoreless here in the second. 15th minute of this second half. And the Eagles, one of the few times they've had the ball on this side of the field. Popped up, they say out, and it's coming back the other way to Spring Lake Park. Ball coming in from the far corner. Tossed in by Allen. And it's spun right out of bounds. So it goes right back to the Eagles, who get a second chance. Glacker to toss it in. The Eagles trying to maintain possession, but they're the Panthers to take it right away. Up to the front. Ball trickles off the pass. They're struck in the middle. And the Eagles take it back. Miller free on the left. Free for a moment. Now fighting with Struck for possession. Loose off to the left-hand side. That's Engelbrecht. Left of goal. Won't get a shot as Iskerka closes the gap and scoops it up.
Engelbrecht with their first really opportunity of the second half to really have a breakaway there. As we'll see on this replay, Engelbrecht coming up the near side, looking for that shot. But Panthers goalkeeper was able to come out soon enough and save that goal.
Up the left side, the Eagles go, and they'll maintain. Alexandra Miller. She's going to back up and toss it in there. Along the left, playing with the sideline. Panthers steal it away. That's Jenna Murphy, the 8th grader, who's been involved in the defense very heavily. Again, the toss back in for Miller. A lot of times deep in that corner for the Eagles. A couple of headers headed towards the goal. Ball still loose in front. One shot tipped off the foot of a Panther, and that saved it, I think. And now the Panthers clearing it out. Trying on the breakaway. Whitney off to the left. She leaves it. On that far side, trying to get it back to her, towards the middle, rather. Picked up by the Eagles. McSherry off to the left from Miller. Miller up the left. Long shot into the face of 2 Panther defenders, who clear it right back towards midfield. Be a scrum for it there, and it goes right back. Seesawed back and forth across the midfield stripe. Neither team getting that secondary push these last 3 or 4 strikes of the ball. And now finally, the Eagles force it deeper towards their own net, and finally it's punched out. Coming up on 22.5 minutes to play. Miller again will toss it in here on this near side. Right to the middle. It's headed there, but right at a defender. Right at a defender, and then kicked up and off. A member of the Eagles. That was Struck there. Getting involved in things. And now Hannah Schultz will boom it away. See there, just an 8th grader on defense. Layla Bensad Johnson tries to control on offense. Struck. Pokes it right back. There she is, fighting forward at midfield. A lot of pushing and shoving there in midfield, but eventually screened out by Schultz, who just lets it trickle out. Paulshin will come back into the ball game. Munson will sit down. See Paulshin on the season. 3 goals to help lead the way for the Panthers. She's taken most of the shots today. 5 to be exact, all pretty deep. It's been the opportunities that the Panthers have had. Ball trickles down towards the corner, and they save it from being that corner kick. Punch it out the side.
Smart play.
You hear that coming from the bench as well. Alexandra Miller tosses it in. It's towards the front of the goal, but there's Iskerka striding in to pick it up. Maddie Iskerka, the freshman. Now looking to change field position, but an Eagle sweeps in there with the header. It's right back to the Panthers. Just under 20 and a half minutes to go. Looking at 60 minutes scoreless in this one. Between the number 3 Totino-Grace Eagles and the 1-win Spring Lake Park Panthers here at home. And a big win it would be if they can find a way to get a goal sometime here in the final 20 minutes of this one and make that stand up. The way things are going, that might be just enough. A miniature push there for the Eagles, but answered right back by the Panthers. Struck up on the right side for Dorman. Dorman down that right side, tries to stop on a dime and has it poked out. And Nicole Hagan, check that. Reagan struck Jansen, will toss it in. Towards the front, another shot rolled up and picked up by Eisfelder.
Opportunity there, but a little bit of a miss hit from the top.
Touch pass stolen away, but the Eagles get it back. Deciding to move it right to left. We'll have a whistle. Panthers with it back. And they run that one deep towards the goal. And you can hear Eisfelder saying she's got it. She'll pick it up.
Panthers were looking to push it forward just a little too much there.
Down towards the left, in front of the goal, just directed away by one of those extra defenders for the Eagles. As for one of the few times Eisfelder was out of position, so if the Panthers could have got a shot towards the goal, that might have gone in. They still have pressure right in front of the net. Paulson tossed that one in, and it's stolen away by the Eagles. The Eagles running in some space. Pass going up, and Iskierka is just going to creep out and pick this one up. (17:20) and counting here at Panther Stadium. And the Panthers controlling the pace for sure at times in this game, but neither team able to find the back of the net just yet. Still very much in doubt. Is Struck chasing for that. A little bit of a push, a little bit more of a push as they fight for it. And finally, I think she's going to get whistled for it. Didn't catch her the first, didn't catch her the second, but I think the third one taking too much liberty there, pushing into Grace Puyu.
Struck there, but
once, twice.
It's pretty obvious too.
And the third one, that finally.
She's lucky she didn't get called in the box because they would have had the free kick real close.
Free kick goes towards the net and off the carom. Totino-Grace will get the first goal. So the free kick, and then there were plenty of blue shirts in front. And take a second look. Free kick goes past Struck and just popped in off the knee of Grace Steinhauser, and the assist, give that one to Alexandra Miller with the left-footed kick from this near side. And Steinhauser, right place, right time, and the carom goes in, and it is 1-0 in favor of the Eagles.
That's tough though when you get called for something, have the free kick that close, and that is the only goal that puts you on the board. You know, it's tough for the Panthers, I'm sure.
They've played such a good game, unable to score, and now they find themselves with just 16 minutes to go down by 1, but all not lost. Have to find a way to keep that pressure. And give credit to Totino-Grace. They got the door open just a crack there with that penalty and able to run through. Of course, important for the Panthers not to lose focus. Can't afford to give up any more this late. 16:20 to go. Paulson down the left side, pass to the middle. As Maddie Walraff off to her right, she hits the deck. Bit of a trip away from the ball there. And the Panthers will maintain possession, toss it right in front. One-on-one, now a double team on Whitney. Finds it to the middle. A bit of a loose pass there. Allowed the Eagles to swoop in there and get it. Again, loose ball picked up by Esquerca. Didn't want to give Puyo a chance at that free ball. 16. Check that, 14:47 and counting. As the Panthers fight for it along the far side. 14:23 and moving here at Panther Stadium. 1-0 on this late goal here late in the second half for the Eagles. Panthers still trying to keep that pressure off in the offensive zone. The Eagles have their goal. Now they can work on maintaining their shutout. Up the right side, a little bit of frustration there for Benside Jansen as she tried to move it forward, looking towards the sideline. Play still going on. Caitlin Munson's going to come into the ball game for Benside Jansen. It's Eagle ball in front of their own bench. Tossed in, poked away by the Panthers. Whitney with it. Back towards the middle to Munson, just in. Munson down to a knee, but no whistle. Stolen away there by Jenna Murphy. Trying to find Walraff on the right. Couldn't get it to her. So it's cleared back out for Struck. And Esquerca will boot it away. Coming up on 13 minutes to go in the half. Paulson with it on the far side. Clears to the middle, finds the way through. Trying to get it up to Walraff, a little bit errant on the pass. It'll break it up at least if the Eagles can then take possession. Panthers make it tough, but the Eagles do come away. If this one holds here, Rosie, you could definitely put it in the survive column, I think, for the Totino-Grace Eagles, ranked at number 3.
Right.
Coming in, they had a fight on their hands. They got a penalty that allowed them the free kick real tight in on the offensive zone, and they got the right bounce.
And I think the Panthers have the opportunity. I think they totally could score. They're just pushing it a bit too soon, leaving it no one there.
Give a lot of credit to that goalkeeper who's had a great game and a great season, Gabrielle Eichfelder, as well. But still 12 minutes to go in this one. Panthers trying to maintain possession, lost it there for a moment. Monson fighting for it. That one somehow stays inbounds along the right, and a great pass up that left side. Steinhauser, who has the goal, punches it out on the left. 11:40 and counting. The Panthers will toss it in. Out of bounds, and the Eagles will take over. Henrik's back in for the Eagles. Poked down by the Panthers. Monson trying the fancy footwork. Cleared herself a little bit of space, gets it back off the foot of Walrith. Pokes it ahead, finds her way through the double team, and up to Whitney. Whitney, teammate, Bouchard running on the far left side.
Good passing.
With it. Fighting with her defender, and she's going to lose it out of bounds. And Bouchard, hands on her knees, a little bit of frustration there. She maybe had a chance if she could have made one more move to get closer. Had Walrith running free on her right as well.
Eagles defense was there, putting on the pressure though.
As you see Bouchard.
She's had a lot of shots on goal tonight.
Run the offense through her with an eye toward Maddie Walrith on the opposite side, and Bouchard's going to take the corner kick from that far side, coming up on 10 minutes to play. Obviously, a very important moment here. Kick towards the front of the goal, and it's knocked down and saved as she falls down by Eichfelder, who got the first touch on that, and now a whistle. And I don't know if they're saying if Struck helped Eichfeld to the ground on that. Let's take a second look. Great kick.
Polition with the corner kick. Looks like Struck was going for that. I don't know. It looked
a little incidental.
Like, yeah.
It didn't look like there was too much help down, but the arms did extend just a bit from Struck.
The ref really wants the keeper to go.
Don't know what everybody was waiting for. I thought we were all actually waiting for him, but apparently not.
Right.
9:30 and counting. They'll kick it in. And the Panthers will go right back to work. Off the foot of Munson. Cleared out. The only Eagle in the area able to poke it out of bounds. That's where the Panthers will have to start. Down by 1. Coming up on 9 minutes to play. They were pitching a shutout as well. Till midway through this second half. Totino-Grace scored off a penalty carry. Walrith lets it go past. There for some help, Whitney on the right side. She can't keep it in. Excuse me, that's Brittany Allen trying to keep that one
in. Sounds like crowd's getting riled up.
They're cold. They're trying to stay warm out there, Rosie. Getting riled up is one way to do it. 8:23 and counting.
Good thing it was only a handball. I thought he was going to call something on Struck once again, but just a handball that time.
So the Panthers will come back with possession. They'll get the kick from Brittany Allen. Allen waiting, under 8 minutes to go. Still plenty of time for the Panthers. Try and get one, if not two. They've come this far with a lot of good shots. So they might settle for finding that first one to try and get back to that tie situation again. Eagles doing a little better at keep away in this second half, especially after that goal. Making it tough on the Panthers, who have had a couple of shots. There's Walrith cutting in front of the ball. Sent an Eagle down to the turf and couldn't come away with possession.
She looked out for a second after.
She was really trying to sell that one.
Right.
Some incidental contact. Panthers again on the far side. Olson with it. One-on-one. It's the shot just to the right. Maybe thinking a little bit half pass there, a little bit trying to get it around her defender.
It was a good little give and go. Just unsuccessful.
Doman will check in. Struck is going to sit down. Also back in Bouchard Jansen. Freshman. He's made an impact this season. A couple of goals and a couple of assists. So far in this game, offense has been hard to come by. Obviously for the Panthers, they've had some shots, but not a lot of success. Down 1-0, coming up on 6 minutes to play. Fight alongside Bensaw Johnson, and I think we're going to get a push there. And again, a penalty coming back the other way. But Rosie, you definitely can't fault their aggression, as they're going right after and being very physical.
Absolutely. There was a little bit of a pile up.
Too physical at times.
Shows they want it, but
certainly
you
do.
Play clean.
Loose on the left side. Paulson one-on-one, trying to make a move, brings it back to traffic in the middle. Shot goes off the foot of a defender. And they're just going to poke that out towards the corner, and it's going to roll out on that side. And we'll have to toss in there, I think, not from the corner. Kristen Whitney tried to track that one down. Now she'll come back in on the offense, control the toss. Shot towards the goal and into the back of the net.
And that was quite the footwork there.
Kristen Whitney, the senior, evens it up with 4:57 to go. Brings some life to the crowd, and what a shot by Whitney off the toss. The senior attacker, far side, took the toss, and basically with her back, as you take a second look at the fancy footwork, as Rosie said.
She shot it right over all the defenders, fooling the keeper, near side post, making that perfect shot right in the corner.
I don't think you could draw it up any more perfect than that.
Set herself up.
Pretty much. Off the toss coming in. And so we are tied at 1.
The excitement is priceless, right?
And there is an injured, as we see Kristen Whitney, there is an injured Eagle trying to make her way off the field. As we're stopped with 5 minutes to go, so Whitney with her first point of this one.
Looks
she
like
almost made it off the field.
She may have just passed out.
They were helping her to the sideline, and then she just could not make it any further. So for the second time, we've got an injured player. One on each side. Kristen Whitney came into the ball game with a couple of goals already, so 3 goals and 1 assist on the season. That might be Glecker down on her back. Tied at 1. 5 minutes to go as the Spring Lake Park Panthers find the goal as Whitney basically set herself up on the toss in and found that perfect spot at the top corner of the goal. And rather than me waxing eloquent about it, here it is again. As Whitney, you see that first bounce off the toss from Paulson, and then she kicks it in. And Rosie, Paulson does get the assist on that by tossing that in.
Right.
Even though it was really set up by Whitney herself. And here's a good look at it just to see from a larger angle what she did and how far that shot had to go. We've talked about it all game. Long shots for the Panthers. And finally they get one to find the back of the net.
Nice Feather really had nothing she could really do there. You know, she was on the opposite side of the net and
not expecting a shot like that.
Right.
So at the very least, no matter how this game goes, finishes up in a tie if we go the next 5 minutes scoreless, or if they should go back to lose, Spring Lake Park at the very least will continue their streak of scoring a goal in every match so far. They've yet to be shut out. Totino-Grace was looking to do that, as this is quite a situation we have down on the field as the player is still down on her back. And just now, she heard me talking and decided to get up.
Yeah.
Hannah Walker is the player having a little bit of trouble. And she was actually on the far side of the field when the goal happened. And her teammates started to help her off and just tried to get her off so they could get the kick going. But she couldn't quite make it that rest of the way to the bench. And now Walker, maybe just a little lightheaded. Maybe took a shot to the head as she's walking. At least the limbs seem to be okay, but she's going to make her way over there, and we'll get things going again. Tied at 1 with 5 minutes to go, and what's turning into a thrilling conclusion here in Spring Lake Park. And we'll see what the final 5 minutes has in store. Walker getting some water on that far bench, so maybe just some lightheadedness, and they're going to see what they can do to wrap that up. We'll see if she gets in this last 5 minutes. Wouldn't expect so at this point. And now who can get the final push and get a couple of shots on goal? At least give themselves a chance to win this one. Already one tie on the record of Totino-Grace. Panthers have yet to tie this season, but would love to take that, I'm sure, as almost a victory against the number 3 team in the state at their level. And the only time, from a negative standpoint, is this Gierke comes out to pick that one up. Without that penalty on Struck, you might be looking at a 1-0 win, but that is milk spilt long ago. Munson tries to push it up the field. Inside Jansen had that one drop behind and then come up awkwardly into her face. Lost it. The Eagles having a tough time getting it past the Panther front line. And there's a good move inside to poke that one away. Force it up the field. A great job in there by Dorman. Panthers again making it tough with Munson to Dorman. On the right side. Dorman in the middle. Being pesky. There's Munson again. Neither team getting much of a push.
Back and forth right now, right in the middle.
Right in the middle. They don't want to get under that circle. Neither team giving much of an inch. Coming up on 3 minutes to play. And finally clears deep, but the Eagles be there to pick it up. Pressure coming from a couple of Panthers, and that's going to be a handball. As
she didn't want it to hit her face again.
Holding that from her face is Bouchard. Jansen on that. Just gives possession basically at midfield. There's Monson trying to find Bouchard. Jansen along the side. Too strong and out of bounds. And coming up on 2.5 minutes to go. Alexander to toss it in front of the goal, the deepest the Eagles have been in this last 5-minute stretch since we became tied. Panthers up to the task. Push it out of the zone.
Trying to work it up the field, really. See if they can create opportunity in the last 2 minutes.
Under 2 minutes to go now. And the ball out in front, and so it was almost a chance at a breakaway, but too far out in front, I believe. It's Nicole Newman in front of the pack. So the kick coming up for the Panthers, clock spinning at 1:38. There goes Hannah Schultz up into the offensive zone. Quickly up ahead, could be a chance for Totino-Grace. Alexander on the left side, looking for a shot, won't take it, and the slide is going to poke the ball out. It's going to stay here for the Eagles. That's Miller, excuse me, from the corner, kick to the front of the net, contact with the Panther, stays in the front of the net with a minute to go. Shot off wide, and the Panthers will recover with 55 seconds left.
A lot of adrenaline there. You know, that first thing I could see, that slide right inside the box, that was risky. Risky move on the Panther, but, you know, she ended up working for her.
Just 40 seconds left. So the Panthers going to try and get their last shot, but a long way to go to get it. Instead, stopped up by the Eagles. The Eagles looking for one final push. 30 seconds left. Tied at 1. Panthers did a great job to get us there. 26 seconds left. Eagles controlling the ball. Miller along the near side. Panthers poke it away, 18 seconds. Up and out to the bench. Eagles control and get it right back. Last final gasp with 12 seconds. Take a long, deep shot now. Panthers want to clear that out, and they do. That might be it. Now here comes Whitney. Whitney with a chance down the right side. It's poked away, and that is how we are going to end it. Whitney, maybe one last chance there along the right side. Could never get free, so we will end in a tie here with the Spring Lake Park Panthers and the Totino-Grace Eagles. And Rosie, a great effort by the Panthers to never give up on that, even though they went down 1-0 after the penalty. A great job, a great team effort to keep pressure on and go back and get that goal and force a tie.
I'm sure their coaches are really proud of them. Really, the Panthers coming up, tying a team that is supposedly one of the best in the conference right now.
Top 3 team in the state and the top team in the conference now has a second tie on their record as the Totino-Grace Eagles and the Spring Lake Park Panthers tie 1. We'll be back to wrap it up here on North Metro TV.
Known for its vineyards and hilltop villages, Umbria is also known for its delicious tasting pizza. Made traditionally from the finest ingredients, Umbria Pizzeria will make you taste the difference, smell the love, and transport you to Italy.
La cena è pronta.
Dinner's ready.
You might even begin to feel like an Italian.
Delicioso.
Umbria Pizzeria, turning taste into memories.
If you need seamless gutters, whether the job is large or small, you can say,
I know a guy!
For your full-service landscaping, you can say,
I know a guy!
If you need commercial or residential lawn care, you can say,
I know a guy! I'm Charlie Walker, and if you need professional seamless gutters, landscaping, and lawn care, you can say, I know a guy!
With gold at all-time high, take that rope and say bye-bye. Earrings, bracelets, rings, and chains. We buy gold at your exchange. Don't send your gold to someone strange. We buy gold at your exchange. Spring Lake Park, Frilly, Blaine. We buy gold at your exchange.
Check it out. That is magnificent.
Here comes the big one, Elizabeth.
I love it so much. I'm feeling a little guilty on account of me being married. There are 8 wonders in the world.
I can't believe it.
Pinch me. I think I'm dreaming.
Okay.
No, it's real.
Regulation not enough here in Spring Lake Park as the Panthers and Eagles tied at 1. Pair of 5-minute overtimes to decide this one. As clearly, that's what I meant by the time when we came back. Let's take a look at how we got here. It was a goal off of a penalty kick that gave Totino-Grace their first opportunity off the knee of Grace Steinhauser. It had been mostly Spring Lake Park to that point, but that made it 1-0. But then Kristen Whitney on her own, finding the top shelf right corner and tied us up at 1. As you get a second look at her fancy footwork, she did quite a bit of work to get that off the toss from Natalie Paulshin. And that is what tied us up with about 5 minutes to go in the game. Neither team with much of a push, and so we sit here with those 2 5-minute overtimes staring at us. Enough they can score as many as they like, of course. Not a sudden death situation, so both teams basically will just go at it for an extra 5 minutes and then an extra 5 after that and see how this one will shake out between the number 3 Totino-Grace Eagles, 7-0-1, though, so they have tied already once. Spring Lake Park yet to tie this season, trying to avoid that and trying to cap off what really has been a pretty great game for them. from the standpoint of holding Totino-Grace down, as that's the yell coming from the Totino-Grace huddle, getting pumped up for their. There it is again, pumped up for their 2 periods of overtime. So the key here, and doing them one better, are the Panthers. So if you're not ready after that, you may want to check your pulse, as we've got 2 periods of overtime for high school soccer here on North Metro TV. As there we see the effects of the weather on the chilly ball girl. Seems to be one at every game as we get to the fall. She's been doing a great job out there. And we'll get things going. So the first 5-minute overtime. The Panthers will start with it, but the errant pass off to the left by Paulshin makes it a little tougher than it had to be for the Panthers to go. Panthers scored last with that Whitney goal that we showed you. They're coming back from the break. So they're trying to find a way to score it again. And that tie we mentioned for Totino-Grace came against Blaine. That was 2 games ago. Breakout up top for Whitney. She's alone, has Paulshin off to her left. Now goes to the middle. Finds Walraff, and the pass to the left is stolen away, but Spring Lake Park right there to pick it up again. Paulshin into the middle again. Right-hand side kick is too strong, as Whitney that time put a little too much into it. Had another chance at it, and she knew that she had a chance. And a great reaction there, a little bit too high. And the ball kicked out a goal. Big key in this is going to be the play of that goalkeeper, Gabrielle Eisfelder, on that far right side, as she has played so well all season. Did give up the goal to Whitney, just her 4th goal allowed on the season. Panthers with a mistake there to let Totino-Grace and Miller get behind him. Actually, that was Puyo, excuse me, to get behind him and get that shot off, but a good save there. Take another look, as here just not quick enough to the ball. 118 beats another, and Puyo gets the shot off, saved well by Esquerca. Stay tied at 1, coming up on 3 minutes to go. Under 3 minutes to go in the first overtime. Back to the center. With it, the Eagles, a fancy pass up over her head, but it's stolen away. Taken back by Murphy. Back to the middle. Eagles playing tough. Steinhauser, she scored the goal on the other side for the dark blue team. Steinhauser in the middle. Tried to pick it up, but instead it goes to the Panthers. Paulshin on the far side. Couple of teammates up to her right. Paulshin to the middle. Tried to find Bensad Johnson, couldn't find her. Bensad Johnson poked it away. Now Paulshin to the front of the goal, up and over Bensad Johnson, who was there. She was guarded closely by 2 defenders. Shot bumped down well in front of the goal. Bensad Johnson tried to find her way there off that shot of Brittany Allen. Up the field we go again. Under 2 minutes to play here in this first overtime. Tied at 1. Panthers and Totino-Grace. The Eagles. Munson with it. Bensad Johnson passing towards the middle. Another great touch pass towards the middle. Streaking up and poked out by the defenders again. Great opportunity by the Panthers. They couldn't convert it. Excellent passing up the middle. Now trying to keep it out of the offensive zone for the Eagles. Coming up on 1:10 to play. One more overtime, 5 minutes long, upcoming. Eagles have it up on the left for Miller. Shot spinning towards the goal, poked away by a Panther. Right back to Miller, near side corner. Wants to head towards the front of the goal, and it's scooped up by Esquerca. She'll look to reverse field, coming back the other way for the Panthers. Taylor Turnquist on that last breakaway, so keep an eye on her right there in the middle of the field. Just now crossing that center circle as she has Paulshin up to her left. Trying to find Turnquist in the middle. Overran it just a bit. It was also poked away by an Eagle. Now to Miller on the left. Rolling up the left-hand side into the Spring Lake Park bench. 17 seconds left in the first overtime. Still brings Struck back in with the clock still spinning, and it's probably going to bring us down to the end here as the Panthers will throw it in with 5 seconds. 4 seconds, 3, 2, whistle. And that is going to end the first overtime. So nothing decided after regulation +1. And now we go regulation +2. Totino-Grace, the Eagles, and the Spring Lake Park Panthers are both tied at 1 here on North Metro TV. And so everybody will switch around here. We'll keep it right here, tied at 1. So 5 more minutes to try and stave off a tie in this one. And the Panthers will be on defense for the first time. Start on defense, rather. As everybody switched quickly. And the second overtime is underway. Well out of goal goes Eichfelder. And that almost backfired as she kicked it off her own teammate. Kept it in the zone with an open goal, but the Panthers couldn't capitalize. They have it at midfield. Poked out on the far side. Coming up on a minute, on 30 seconds gone in this second overtime. 1 goal apiece in regulation, both coming in the second half after wins scoreless. The first 60+ minutes. So a penalty shot led to a score for the Eagles. And then a great individual effort from Kristen Whitney tied it up with just 5 minutes to go. Clock spinning at 4. These players definitely, especially in this second overtime to start it, definitely tired. They've been playing a long time. It's a little bit chilly out there, but they've got to be warm. Some of the intensity that we've seen at other times, not completely there here in these overtimes. With good reason. We'll see if one team can dig deep and find a way to get that goal. There's Struck. She's been a spark plug, maybe a little bit too much. It was her penalty that led to the first goal. She's definitely been aggressive throughout this game. As have the rest of the Panthers. Coming up on 3:20 to play in the last overtime. Struck to toss it in, finds its way over an Eagle, but then it's poked out again. And it'll come back to the Eagles. Trying to catch the Panthers in transition. They're going quickly as the Panthers weren't sure of the call. But a good play there up top by Jenna Murphy. Slow things down and let her teammates get set for this final 3 minutes. Tied at 1, conference action. North Suburban Conference action between the first place team and right now the 8th place team, the Spring Lake Park Panthers. Be a quality tie for the Panthers. You'd have to think Totino-Grace thinking about a missed opportunity here. Coming in against a 1-win team as they'll have to toss it back in from deeper. 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go. I think you can see Coach Hollister Struck and his confidence in the athleticism of and makeup of this team in general. His well-founded confidence, as they're going to be there to cause trouble for some teams if they can keep playing consistently like they have today. Maybe just add a little bit of scoring. Not maybe, definitely add a little bit of scoring. But keep that intensity on the defensive side. And keep attacking and putting pressure on the offensive side. Struck with under 2 minutes to go. Tosses it in. She'll come right back to pick it up off the header. Tries to force it towards the front of the goal. Right now it's almost the feel of a free-for-all as both of these teams just trying to find whatever they can in the form of offense, in the form of opportunities near the goal for the final minute 35. Back and forth we go right in front of the Panther bench. Panthers toss it in. off the chest of Whitney. Whitney keeps it. Good one-on-one effort. Tried to find Paulson on the left. Whitney tripped to the ground. Still finds the pass to Paulson on that left side. Pass to the middle. Too deep. Over along the side she goes. Bench side Jansen has a player inside of her. Jansen right side. Shot. Save. And possibly a tie-saving goal by Gabrielle Eichfelder with a minute to go. Let's take a second look at that. Bensad Johnson fought through traffic, fought off a second defender, stayed on her feet somehow, got a quality shot off, and the fingertips surround the ball for Eichfelder to keep it tied, now under 50 seconds. Ball poked around midfield in the circle. Deep out, Iskirka's got to come up and kick that one away. It wasn't deep enough into the box to pick it up. Now along that right side, Spring Lake Park. They've got enough time. If they can maintain it, they've got enough time to maybe make one more push. 30 seconds left. Got to go all out here. Panthers have numbers. 3-on-1. Shot to the left. 1-on-1 on the goal. Just wide. Paulson had the opportunity and just pushed it wide with the left foot. A little indecisive. And that might be the closest that the Panthers can get. 10 seconds left. Struck. Miscommunication on the pass. Eagles pick it up, push it down the field with 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1. And we are going to end in a tie, and the Panther fans up on their feet to support their squad, as this is what it came down to basically. Paulson all alone on the left, one-on-one with the goalkeeper, and just couldn't cut it inside. As you can see, she thought a missed opportunity, missed it wide, and that made sure that we would end up in this 1-1 tie. We'll talk with some of the Panthers when we come back. Final score after 2 overtimes, Totino-Grace and the Panthers of Spring Lake Park tied 1 on North Metro TV.
Known for its vineyards and hilltop villages, Umbria is also known for its delicious tasting pizza. Made traditionally from the finest ingredients, Umbria Pizzeria will make you taste the difference, smell the love, and transport you to Italy.
La cena è pronta.
Dinner's ready.
You might even begin to feel like an Italian.
Delicioso.
Umbria Pizzeria, turning taste into memories.
If you need seamless gutters, whether the job is large or small, you can say,
I know a guy.
For your full-service landscaping, you can say,
I know a guy.
if you need commercial or residential lawn care, you can say,
I know a guy. I'm Charlie Walker, and if you need professional seamless gutters, landscaping, and lawn care, you can say, I know a guy.
With gold at all-time high, take that rope and say bye-bye. Earrings, bracelets, rings, and chains. We buy gold at your exchange. Don't send your gold to someone strange. We buy gold at your exchange. Spring Lake Park, Frilly, Blaine. We buy gold at your exchange.
Back with you on North Metro TV here in Spring Lake Park. A tie between the Totino-Grace Eagles, the number 3 team in the state, and the Spring Lake Park Panthers, joined by a couple of Panthers, goalkeeper Danielle Jerichko and Kirsten Whitney, your goal scorer in this game. We'll start with you, Kirsten. Walk us through that goal. That was pretty athletic to get that shot on the pass in and really set yourself up for that.
Yeah, it was pretty, we had a lot of shots during the whole match, and I just couldn't put it in. And finally got that one to go in the corner. I thought it was going to go way over, but it just kind of dropped in, and their goalkeeper was really good. I will give a shout out to her. She was fantastic, and all her diving and stuff, but she couldn't save that one.
Almost a perfect placement. Talk about some of those other shots. You guys, you put a whole lot of pressure on offensively throughout that whole game, and you finally got that one to go. Talk about how you guys were able to get that pressure and consistently keep that up.
Keeping up our momentum up top, keeping them pressed, and putting pressure on their defense. And Natalie Polishin, number 11 or 9. Yeah.
No,
7, sorry.
Okay,
but
you're number 9.
yeah, she had a lot of good runs up the side, and just she had a good momentum bringing that and crossing, and she had a lot of good shots too. And also Layla too, the last couple minutes in overtime, she had a great shot dribbling through. So we have some skillful players on my team, and yeah, that assist by Natalie was really good for the goal also.
And Danielle, obviously in goal, you had to stop a lot of tough shots. That's a very good team that can score a lot of goals. Where does your success come from to be able to keep them to just that one goal on really basically a penalty shot?
I think it was a lot of the defense. The defense helped out a lot because otherwise I would have had some more tougher shots that I know that the other team would be capable of. But the defense was really quick, and we had a lot of clearance, and I owe it to the defense because otherwise I don't know how the score would have ended up.
You guys are both seniors. You got a lot of youth on this team that they've played very well today, and they're trying to come along. What do you think of the way your younger teammates have played, and what kind of season it's going to be like?
Well, the younger ones are really good. I can tell that they really love the sport, and it's just going to be a good couple of years for them.
Congratulations on getting that pretty big tie, and hopefully you guys move this up with some momentum and keep going this season. Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you.
Spring Lake Park Panthers tie it at 1 with the Totino-Grace Eagles, the number 3 team in the state. From Spring Lake Park, for everybody with North Metro TV, my partner Rosie Erickson, I'm J.W. Cox. Have yourself a great rest of your night. You've been watching high school girls soccer on North Metro TV.